All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that truly separates winning traders from, well, everybody else. And that is trading psychology. You can have the most perfect, back-tested strategy in the world, but if you haven't mastered your own mind, you're just fighting a losing battle from the start. So, let me just ask you a question. Why do so many traders fail? We're talking like over 90% of people lose money. What do you think is the number one reason? Is it a bad strategy? Is it the market being rigged? What is it? It's so easy to blame all these outside things. We say, oh, it was a bad strategy, or the market makers are out to get me, or just plain old bad luck. But the real reason, the real enemy, it's way, way closer to home. The real culprit is something called the monkey mind. So what in the world is the monkey mind? Well, it's that little voice in your head, right? That nagging feeling in your gut that's screaming at you to do something. Jump in, get out, just do something now. It's the emotional, impulsive part of you that's constantly trying to get you to abandon your plan because of fear or greed or just sheer impatience. That, right there, is the enemy within.
Okay, so how does this monkey mind actually sabotage us? Let's break down the most common traps it sets. Because this, right here, is where the battle for your trading account is really won or lost.
Look at this list. Does any of it look familiar? Every single one of these classic, painful mistakes. That's the monkey mind at work. It's that voice that panics and makes you sell a winner for a tiny profit. It's that same voice that whispers, it'll come back, as you hold a loser all the way down. Chasing losses, forcing trades, every single one is a failure of process driven by pure emotion.
And that brings us to this big, weird question, doesn't it? Why are we so eager to snatch up a small guaranteed win, but we're totally willing to risk a catastrophic loss just on the tiny hope of getting back to even? It feels completely backward, right? But believe it or not, it's a totally predictable glitch in our human brains. Okay, let me give you a choice. Check this out. Option A, I hand you a guaranteed $5,000 right now. Option B, we flip a coin. Heads, you get $10,000. Tails, you get nothing. What do you pick? Almost everyone, and I mean almost everyone, takes the sure thing. They take option A. The fear of walking away with nothing is way stronger than the possibility of doubling up. But now, watch what happens when we flip this whole thing on its head. Now you have to choose a loss. Option A, you're guaranteed to lose $5,000. Option B, we flip a coin. Heads, you lose $10,000. Tails, you lose nothing. Here, everything changes. All of a sudden, most people become huge risk takers. They choose option B. They'd rather gamble on a bigger loss just for the hope of losing nothing at all. It's wild. You see, there's actually a name for this. It's called the disposition effect. And this isn't some personal flaw you have. No, it's a well-documented cognitive bias that is literally hardwired into our brains. We are built to be afraid of risk when we're winning and to seek out risk when we're losing. In trading, that is a recipe for absolute disaster. So the real question becomes, how in the world do you fight your own brain? So, how do we fight back? How do we tame that inner monkey? Well, the solution isn't some new fancy indicator. It's a straight-up, systematic plan to rewire your brain. It's a practical exercise, and we're going to call it the 30 Trade Gauntlet. 30. That's it. That's the number. Why 30? Because that's about how many times you need to consciously and deliberately execute a process to start building new habits, to start overriding those deep emotional gut reactions and build the muscle of professional discipline. And this might be the most important rule of the whole thing, so listen up. For these next 30 trades, the profit and loss literally does not matter. Forget about it. Your one and only goal, your only measure of success is perfect execution of your plan. Did you follow your process to the letter? Yes or no? That's it. The rules here are dead simple, but you have to be absolutely strict. You pick one and only one strategy. You stick to just one or two assets so you can really focus. You follow your rules for getting in, getting out, and your stop loss exactly as they're written down. And this is non-negotiable. You document every single trade with a screenshot and notes. That journal, that's your mirror. It'll show you the truth. I mean, this quote right here says it all. You have to stop chasing the money and start chasing a flawless process. When you can master the process, when you can execute perfectly again and again, the profits just become a natural byproduct. They start to take care of themselves. Okay, so what happens when you get through this gauntlet? What's the real prize at the end? It's not just a better account balance. It's a deep,
fundamental shift in who you are as a participant in the markets.
Just look at this shift. It's huge. Before, your identity is trader, which is basically a gambler trying to guess right. Afterwards, your identity becomes risk manager, whose job is just to execute a plan flawlessly. Your focus goes from profit to process. And your decisions are driven by pure, cold discipline, not by emotion. Emotion is out. Discipline is in. Period.
And the whole point of this is to make the process become second nature. It becomes automatic. You get to a point where you see a setup, and you're not even thinking or hesitating anymore. You just do what the process requires. Your disciplined subconscious takes the wheel, and that noisy, chattering monkey mind, it finally starts to quiet down. And this is the real payoff. This is what you're actually fighting for. It's so much more than just money. It's real, earned confidence in your system. It's the emotional maturity to handle a win and a loss the exact same way. It's that peace of mind you get when you know you are in control of your actions. This is how you stop gambling and start building a real, scalable business.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. We spend all this time, right? Hours and hours staring at charts, looking for that perfect entry, that perfect signal. But what if that screen isn't the real battlefield? What if the only war that really, truly determines whether you win or lose is the one going on right between your ears?